Okay, welcome back.
Hello.
Or hello, whatever. I'm really good
Hi.
at intros. I just feel like so awkward and then like it's like word vomit. I'm just like,
No, I would be the same way. I'd be like,
what do I say? It's my own channel and I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so today is all about my Uncle Steve. So if you work at Carrabba's, I think you know everything I'm about to say, but sorry. Okay, so let's start with, my middle name is Blaine, and I'm named after my Uncle Steve. His name is Stephen Blaine. He is my mom's uncle, so he lives in Oregon. What I know about him, I'm trying to think of all the little parts so I don't have to like backtrack later. What I know about him, what I remember of him, because I've lived in Indiana since I was 8, is that he would just like, he always took things too far. He was very much like, very silly and like outgoing and fun, but also like, I blocked him on Facebook because he, my cousin got braces and she was like, put in the caption that she was like, not sure how I feel about these, but I'm gonna smile anyways, or just something like saying she's insecure, and he was like, brace face. I was like, you're so inappropriate. And like, he did a lot more. I don't remember what the like final thing was, but he commented on something, and people were like my friends' boyfriends were like, do I need to say something to him? And I was like, I don't even remember what it was.
It's like, no, that's my family member.
No,
Sorry.
he's my uncle.
I have an uncle just like that.
Okay, so like, we get it. So yeah, I had him blocked, but like, he was just so silly and he didn't know when to stop with it. That will come into play later. Obviously we're telling ghost stories, so clearly he has passed away. He, I don't even know how long, it's been like a month or two. That was really bad. Very recent. This was like part of the reason I wanted to film these, because I was like telling people my ghost story, like telling them about my Uncle Steve, and then they would come back with them, and I'm like, I want to share these videos. Like, this is so fun.
That is so crazy.
So, or share these stories. Okay, so my mom said when she was little, she remembers like going into the hospital all the time to see Uncle Steve because he had really bad asthma and just like things would set it off easily, I guess. I didn't realize how serious asthma could be. No, like,
just get an inhaler, that's all I know.
I know, I'm like, an inhaler? Like, I can't relate to that. I did not understand how serious it was. But so there was a lot of fires recently in Oregon, and I guess like it was so bad that the like air quality, they were saying like, don't go outside, like it's really bad. So on a Friday, he posted something at like 2 on Facebook, and that was like the last thing anybody had heard from him for a while, until I think Sunday. One of his sisters finally went over there and found him on the floor. Like, he clearly had an asthma attack in his house and died. Like,
that's so scary, just because of the air.
Like, that's why I'm like, okay, like a really good friend has asthma, and I'm like, sorry, B, like, I didn't know how serious it was. I mean, I did. Like, she has, you know, like, I can tell that it's an issue, but before her and now my Uncle Steve, I'm like, I did not realize it was that serious.
Yeah.
Like, had no idea.
Because, like, do you remember Emily?
Yeah.
Her older brother has asthma really bad, and I remember in, like, growing up, like, he would always, like, every single night have to go take medicine, have to do his inhaler and stuff like that, and I was like, why are you doing that? I'm like, why do you have to do this? Like, no, it kind of makes a little bit more
you're
sense.
like, okay, I understand a little bit more. We'll backtrack a little bit. Before, I didn't know that he had passed away yet, because like I said, he lives in Oregon. I live in Indiana, if you don't know me. And it started on Friday. I could just feel someone, but I was home, and this place, there's somebody, like, I live with Anna, first of all. She's had a spirit attached to her since she was, I don't even know how old, but like under 10, I think. And then there's something like in our house, and it's not very nice, and we just try not to talk about it, but it will be the last video for this month, so just brace down for that one, because oh god, it's a lot.
Oh, I'm excited for that one.
it's so much. But so I really just kind of thought, like, I'm home alone, like, we haven't saged in a while, it's just one of the spirits in the house. But I just kept I kept seeing something out of the corner of my eye, and like, or like I would hear something and I would look, and then I would swear like I saw something, but then it would be gone. Like, what in the world?
Doesn't that always make you kind of be like, am I crazy? Am I crazy?
Yes.
That happens to me all the time. And I'm like, I really thought I just saw something. And like sometimes, okay, this sounds really crazy, but like driving down the road, sometimes I think I see somebody like walking, and I'm like, what are they doing walking that close to the road? And I'm like, there's nobody there. Maybe I'm just crazy.
I'm gonna have to tell you, there's gonna have to be another video after this one because you don't know about. I feel like it's not really a ghost story though. It's just like scary. It's not though. It's like sad. Maybe it won't be a video. I've made a blog post about it.
Oh really?
Because it's a lot. I'm okay with what happens, so I just like don't, like I just tell people openly about it, and then they're like, how are you okay?
Yeah, I have like some of those things too where like really traumatic things happen, and they're like, are you good? I'm like, no, I'm good. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm fine.
Let's talk about it. I don't
really
care.
What else do you want to know? So I like kept seeing stuff, then I would like hear stuff, and I was like, it's just because I'm at home. So I leave, go do my like weekend chores before Matt gets home, and I still just felt like somebody was watching me all day. And this is a little bit insane. I watch a lot of murder shows.
Oh, me too. No worries.
Okay, like love them.
True crime enthusiast.
Yes. But I know that sex trafficking is a very big problem right now in Indianapolis.
Yes, it's so bad.
Yes, and it's like obviously that's scary.
Yeah.
But like feeling like someone is watching you while I'm out, and like I've heard about like people say like, yeah, this person was following me around Target and like this and that, and I'm like, okay, I'm at Target, I'm at the one they were talking about, and it's just like, so I was just like, okay, maybe it's not just at home, but then I'm like, why would it be at Target too? Like, why am I still feeling like this? And sometimes I just get that way too, so I was just like,
yeah, I get paranoid just because like the amount of true crime, like I listen to podcasts all day at work. So for 8 hours straight, I'm listening to all kinds of different podcasts, and a lot of them are true crime related. So like, I'm paranoid.
Yeah. What can you do? So I'm really dragging this out, but there's just so much detail. Okay, so like I came home, and then by this point, I guess like Saturday, I finally had the thought of maybe somebody died in my family, and they know that like I believe in spirits and that kind of stuff, so maybe they're coming to me and trying to get me to figure out who they are.
Yeah.
And then I like instantly like my grandma popped in my head, and I was like, nope, can't even think about that thought because like I don't want to like, no, I don't want to do that. So I just texted her.
Jinx it or something?
Yeah, I was like, no God, like I can't deal with that right now. So I texted her and I said, hi, I love you, and like that was it. I just needed like a response from her, and that wasn't even until late that night because I remember, no, that had to have been Sunday night that I finally texted her, because Monday morning I woke up to a text that said, hi, I like love you too, and I was like, okay, like she's good. Like, whew. And I was paranoid because people always say like, the number 3 is not good, like people die in 3s, like all of that stuff. So somebody had just died, and for some reason it popped in my head like, oh, 2 more people are gonna die, and I was like, why would I think that? Like, why would I let myself like, I give myself anxiety.
I do the same thing though.
Dang it. So annoying. Okay, I think that was all that really happened on for the weekend. Like I just kept feeling like somebody was Matt cut the grass on Sunday. And I didn't say anything to him because sometimes I just get weird and I'm just like in my own head. Like, it's fine, I'll be okay. But Matt had just finished cutting the grass. He came inside and we were standing in the kitchen. And you can see he was standing kind of like in the living room and I was standing in the kitchen. And then the back door is like over here and it's wide open because it's like 2 p.m. And he's talking to me about who knows what. And I thought I saw something, but I also knew that it wasn't actually anything, so I just didn't even look. And then Matt stopped talking and he was like, I swear I saw a guy in the backyard when I was cutting the grass. And I was like, oh God. He's like, and I just thought that I saw something again. And I was like, oh God.
No.
Like, that's why I didn't text my grandma.
Skeptic.
Right.
God.
Oh, this isn't cool. Then Monday morning, my mom texts me around like 11. And at this point, I'm like, okay, Monday morning, I was like, I'm still feeling it. Somebody's passed away. Like, we don't know. Like, I was really, really getting like scared. And then my mom texted me and was like, hey, Uncle Steve passed away. She told me like how like they found him, blah, blah, blah. And like, this sounds so morbid, but I was like, okay, at least I know who it is. Like,
yeah.
And of course, like I'm sad, but I haven't lived in Oregon since I was 8, and what I knew of him was like my uncle who took things too far
that
and
you
was
had
like
to
kind
block
of
on
a jerk.
Facebook.
Yeah, so like love you, Uncle Steve. Thanks for the name, love it. But like, it didn't like just completely like ruin my day.
Yeah.
By any means. I was honestly just like more so relieved. And then I like my great grandma and one of my great grandmas and one of my grandpas have already passed away, and I talk to them all the time. Like even if it's just at night, like in my head, like I just say hi to them. So I just kind of like, hey Uncle Steve, like I know that you're here, you know, we're good. And then I come home and like live my life, you know. I'm like, okay, like life can move on. And then I don't even remember what, like something happened, and I was like, well, that was Uncle Steve, like clearly. I really can't remember what it was though. And I knew that my aunt and my grandma and her sister were just not dealing well with the fact that he was gone, because he was only like, I don't even know, but it wasn't his time to go. Like he was older, but it was still like
probably like 60.
I think
70s?
so. I think so. So I don't know. Like his mom's still alive. So like my
That's rough.
yeah. So it was just like everybody's having a hard time with it, obviously, and then like. My Aunt Rhonda found him and just all of these things. And he was alone. Like, it is sad. But it just didn't, like, devastate me like it did them. So I just let them know whatever, I can't remember what, like, it was a very small thing. But I was just like, I think that was Uncle Steve. I think he did that. So I just, like, sent the message, like, relayed it to them and was like, hey, you know, he's saying hi to me. You guys, like, you guys should try to, like, take note of that. Like, see if he's saying hi to you. And then, like, that night, I think it was that night. No, it had been a day, because they were all like, no, like I haven't gotten any signs from him, and like still just so sad. And so Matt was working out of town. I should mention this too, because it just makes all of it so much more scarier. I got in bed and I was thinking to myself like what I was going to say to Uncle Steve, because I wanted him to go to them. Like, so I was thinking in my head what I was going to say, but like also it's not like I talk out loud to him when I do talk to him. So in my head, I wasn't like ready for him to hear what I was saying, but I guess he was listening.
I feel the same way.
I was
sometimes.
like, right, like, this sounds so insane, but I was like, okay, so I need to tell him. I've noticed his signs, like he needs to do things that are more abrupt or like obvious that it's him. And then I thought, but you know, could he even do something that obvious to make them know that it's him? Then all the fire alarms in my house just go off.
How late at night was it?
I don't know. It was probably like 10 or 11.
Still, it does not matter. I would be freaking out.
I had just turned all the lights off. I like sleep with a little eye patch thing on. I had put that on, turned my sound machine on, and then I'm like thinking what I'm gonna say to Uncle Steve, and I forgot that I was thinking that because the fire alarms just went off.
Yeah.
And it like beeped once in my like beep 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 in my room, and then the whole house went. And I didn't notice that or think about it until after the fact. So Anna and Tanner like come there. Matt and I's room is like the front of the house, and Anna and Tanner's room is like the back of the house. So Anna and Tanner like come up to the front, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what happened." And then as I'm standing there, and I don't know why we didn't try to turn them off. We're just like letting them beep and beep and beep.
They'll stop on their own
They'll
time.
Stop. It's fine. Finally they turn off, but I noticed that like they were all beeping. They were all beeping, like, blinking light was green on all of them in the house, except for mine, which was red, which confirmed that it was from my room.
Oh.
So I was like, that's so creepy. Like, that's so weird.
That had to have been, like, something.
Yeah.
He was like, hi, I can hear you.
Yeah, he was like, I can do it. And I was like, okay. So, whatever, you know, like, I go to bed. Completely forgot about Uncle Steve. And then like during that whole thing I like completely forgot about it, and then I get back in bed. I was like, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I need to talk to Uncle Steve. And I was like, oh my god, like that was Uncle Steve. And then Anna texted me and she was like, I feel like there's something in the house. And I had not told her about Uncle Steve. She's like, there's something else here, like I've felt it since like last weekend. And I was like, oh, I should have told her, because she obviously picks up on this stuff. So then I like told her, and she was like, oh my gosh, like that's so crazy. And then I messaged my Aunt Rhonda, my Grammy, and my mom and my aunt, and just told them, like, okay, he took the joke too far, like, not funny. I said, never thought I'd have to, like, yell at a ghost.
Hey, I'm trying to sleep. Let's keep those off.
Yeah. So I told him, like, what had just happened, and it was like, and I told him to leave me alone. Like, I'm done. He took the joke too far. That scared me. And he needs to come visit you guys, and he needs to give you guys signs. I was like, so you guys need to be looking for signs, because he's given me plenty. And I just feel like he's going to come to you guys now. And Oregon is 3 hours behind Indiana. So I did that, and then obviously like I went to bed. And when I woke up the next morning, all 3 of them had said, "Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened." And I was like, "Thank God!" Like,
oh my God!
Hallelujah! So like they all got their confirmation. I was like, "Okay, now like please leave me alone." And I really haven't felt him since. So
really,
yeah.
Oh, that's so crazy. Like, it's something comforting to know. Like they're like, "Hey, like I'm okay. I'm here." But then they're still like, "Oh God, they're here."
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, I just remembered. Okay, so the night, I don't know if it was Uncle Steve or not. I've never heard a ghost before. Like I've never. Ooh, this is the part I forgot about this because it's so scary to me.
Oh.
So my like, I think I've drawn a picture of this in another video. I might talk about what I'm about to say in the video where I talk about the thing that's in the house, because I don't know who it was, but it was the same time as like everything that was happening with Uncle Steve. It was the night before the smoke detectors, because I was just so creeped out, like, and Matt's not home and I was scared and I had to pee, and I never go pee. I have like bruised my bladder before because I will just lay in bed, like I will go to sleep and I'm not getting out of bed because
I'm the same way. Like it takes a lot out of me to get up in the middle of the night. Like I'll flip on every light, and then I'll have the flashlight on my phone still. Even with all the lights on, that way by the time I turn them all off, I still have a light. That way I can have my light, get into bed.
Yes.
Close my eyes. Yeah.
Get under the covers. Monsters can't get you if your feet are under the blanket.
Exactly. It's proven. It's scientifically proven. Like they can't get you.
Can't get you. But so I don't know. I don't know what told me to just get up and get out of bed, but I shouldn't have, because so it's like my door, there's a guest bedroom, and then the bathroom door. And my door is kind of like, these two are like this to each other, and then our bathroom is like at an angle. Or our bedroom's at an angle. And then we have like this little candy machine like right outside the bathroom door. And I go to the bathroom, no problem. And then when I'm coming back out, I got super creeped out. It was really cold. And then I just hear, "Hey!" And I was like, oh, and I took off.
Oh no.
Oh, it was so scary. It was the scariest thing ever. I was like, I ran and got in bed, and I was like, what was that?
And
I've never heard, I've like experienced a lot of things, but I've never heard something like that. Like I've heard like, Anna lived in a haunted house, and her, like it was grandma, like we knew who the ghost was, and I heard her like walk up the stairs, and like I told her, you know, like, "You're scaring me," and she walked back down and left, and like I've heard that, but I've never heard someone like talk like that. It was so scary.
That would make every hair on my body stand up. I don't even know what I would do. Like, and that's
I
so
was alone,
scary.
like, oh, it was so terrible. I forgot about that.
I would have gone and like knocked on Anna and Tanner's room and was like,
"Can I sleep in here?
I'll sleep in the middle."
Oh, but yeah, it was the night before, because the fire alarms, because I hadn't told Anna about Uncle Steve yet, and I didn't want to like,
freak her out.
I didn't want to like be like, "Hey, I know it's late, but a ghost just said hey to me, and I need to sleep in here." Like,
I'm just gonna make a like a little spot on the floor. Don't mind me.
Jordan, you can sleep down here. It's fine. Like, oh, it was scary. Oh. So yeah, that is, I think that's all that happened with Uncle Steve. The main thing was like the fire alarms. I was just so like baffled by that.
I would be too.
I was just like, oh my gosh. Like I've never had somebody like so openly communicate with me like that. Like,
and I feel like they'd have to be like somebody that you would have known, not just like a random ghost. Because I feel like like those spirits would just be like, let's just see how, like, if these living people can like figure out that I'm here. But he was probably like, he might have still been in shock too, since like
it was well, and then I don't remember who I was listening to or what. It might have been the Psychic Twins.
I love them
too. I was watching one of their YouTube videos. I think I like watch their videos while I do my makeup, so I'm like listening to it more so. But they said something about like a lot of spirits that don't move on, they don't realize they're dead, or like it was a traumatic death, so like they just don't realize, so they're just like hanging out, like, as opposed to someone who like has cancer, like they know they're dying, like they're prepared to go on, or like, you know, like Uncle Steve died of an asthma attack, like he clearly wasn't ready to go on a Friday, like he had no idea. So yeah, like that made sense. But I still wonder, like, why me? Like, is it because I'm sensitive to it, or like did he think it was cool that we had the same name? Like I just always wonder, like, why'd you come all the way out here to Indiana? Like, did you just want to see what we were up to.
Yeah.
Like,
I
don't
wonder,
know.
like, in, like, the spiritual world, like, is distance a thing? Is that, like, really an
that's true,
issue?
yeah.
And, like, everybody has, like, an aura. Maybe your aura was, like,
Yeah.
bright enough and, like, inviting because
Yeah.
you're sensitive to it. So he's like, oh,
Her.
I can go right over here. She knows who I
Yeah.
am. She's going to be able to, like,
Yeah, that's
feel
true.
me. I
That's
don't know.
very true.
It's a little creepy, but, like.
It is creepy. And at the time, I was like reading a book about like, or I was just reading about like all of that stuff. So
Really?
it just made it. I guess that probably is why I just never really thought about that. So yeah,
Oh, that is so creepy.
that's the story of Uncle Steve.
I'm glad I'm not sleeping alone tonight. Thank goodness. I'm really intrigued to figure out what's going on like in your house. Like how you said there's like a demon here.
Oh, it's so scary.
Like, do you know if it's like an actual demon, or do you just think it's like a negative spirit?
We'll end this and I'll tell
Okay,
you.
okay.
Because it's just, I don't know. I
Oh.
think like, I mean, I have my own like thoughts on it, but I feel like it's doesn't like Anna more than it doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't messed with me like since we staged.
Maybe it is because that she has another name.
I know.
attached
So
to
it's
her.
Ooh.
I'm excited to get the inside scoop. This is gonna be great.
Ooh, it's so creepy though. I think I cried 3 times in that video.
That's so sad.
Because we would just say stuff and I'm like, this is scary. Not like sobbing, but I'm just like so scared that like tears
just,
are
like,
coming out. And you're like,
okay. It's happening.
oh. All right. Well, thank you for watching this video. Uncle, if I could talk, I have like been struggling so bad with words recently.
Oh, me too.
I've been reading because I'm like, maybe I just need to read again. Like maybe I'm just becoming stupid.
I was
I don't know
listening
what
to
my
a
problem
ghost
is.
podcast today, and they went to say like a simple sentence, and one of the girls, she goes, I don't know what happened. She's like, sometimes I just don't think my brain works well anymore. And the other girl's like, sometimes I have to pray out stuff like simple like elementary school stuff so I can just like give my brain a refresher of like simple things. So I'm like,
That's
yeah.
smart. I need to do
Same.
that.
She says that she prints out like times tables, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna go that far, but like little things I'll
No, like little things. But then at the same time, I read to Mila every day for a half an hour. But I have those books memorized, so it probably really isn't reading, I guess.
Yeah, no.
All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe I need to try that. Okay. Thank you for watching. The next one will be up sometime. Just follow my social media and you will see it. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.